Hello, welcome back. Let's move on to the chapter 7, array. In chapter 1 to chapter 6, we have learned how to define a variable. Like we mentioned, in Java, every time we claim a variable and save a value to this variable, which means we allocate the memory for the object, then give this object a name. Actually, it's variable name. Seems like okay, and we can use one variable name for one object. And however, for most of the situations, our data not just that a few. We may have a couple of hundred, a couple of thousands numbers to process. It's almost impossible we create 1,000 or 2,000 variables for those numbers. So that's why most of the current programming language, we have a better idea. It's called array, which means we can use one variable name to reference many data. Let's check how do we do array. First one, let's understand what's the meaning of this sentence. See here, I create an array. Okay, the first one is called the data type. Then we are using the bracket to represent this variable is an array. Make sure you put the keyword new here, which new means we're gonna allocate memory. 10 means how many memories we would like to allocate. And integer means what's the data type for this object. So let's understand this sentence. This sentence means the Java virtual machine, once we run this Java program, Java virtual machine will allocate the memory for 10 integer numbers. Okay, then give this memory a name called array. This is a memory name. Okay, let's access those numbers we created. And we can use for loop. Like here, we know since we allocated 10 integer numbers, which means the whole array size is 10. So let's put here, this array dot length actually is 10. And dot length is a predefined variable for all the arrays in the Java. So we can use this one. Integer I equal to 0 and I less than array dot length, then I plus plus. Check here. We are using the index to represent each element. So check here. Which means I save 0 to the first element in the array and save the 10 to the second element in the array. The whole array, you can understand that the whole array is more like a consecutive slots. In each slot, we can save the numbers one by one. And we give each slot an index. In Java, the array index starts from 0. So the first slot, the index is 0. Second slot, the index is 1. So we can keep going, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which means if we say array 5 means this number. Okay, so I'm using another for loop to print out those 10 numbers I saved in the array. Let's run this program. You can check how that works. First one, let's create a folder. Oh, here. Let's create a Java file. Save this file. Let's run this program. See here. I created one array and save values to each array element. And I was using another for loop to print out the index and the array. Check here for the I was using for loop to print out the index and array elements. So which means the first element in the array is 0. The second element in the array is 10. Always remember the index of Java array starts from 0, not 1. I know if you guys heard of some other programming language like a Fortran, like MATLAB, yes, their index starts from 1. But most of the popular programming language like Java, Python, C++, their index always starts from 0. Okay. I think that's everything for today. Okay, let me stop here.